shipping container is what I was gonna call it. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord. Oh shoot. No bueno. That one was from deep within. Yeah, I don't mind my little comforter container back there. I obviously have plans to sleep in the back of my truck tonight a little bit on my way home. Okay? Don't worry about it. Mind your business. It works for me. It may not work for you, but it works for me. Okay? I'm not going to pay for no hotel room just to sleep for a little bit when I have a whole vehicle that I pay for and I can sleep for a little bit here. Okay? So, with that being said, yesterday was very interesting, and I feel like that's why I'm probably as tired as I am. Like, I have a lot to consider. The burden is not as heavy as it could be. Had I not known, like, ahead of time, God not prepared me. That was an interesting shift. I believe the last time I recorded, I said something about, like, the girls, we all talked, and I shared stories, and that was fun. It started off great. Then the first customer came, second customer came. Second customer made it rain. That was fun. Like, I love just the money fall. Like, that's what we're in this for. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. So he, like I said, he's like tipped like about 160 in once. And then after that, I did get another dance with a couple. That was when the night began to shift and be a little weird. Like, it was cool at first, and then it got a little weird. So the customers, the couple, she had like a see-through, like, it wasn't really see-through, but it was like I'd call it a lingerie top on with some shorts. And she has some really big boobs. And so whenever I was on stage and I went over and talked to them, and I was like, just complimenting her. And I think I had actually, I was just complimenting her and stuff like that. And then I went and I sat by her and I was like, oh, is this your man's? I remembered her name. I tried, like, when a customer tells me their name, like, I'll say it in my head a few times to try to remember it, because I do not be remembering. And I'll say it in the conversation as much as possible to remember it as well. So it's funny I remember them, because there was an interesting story. I won't say their names, but I remember their names. And the couples be having the wildest stories, because I remember in New Orleans, it was this couple. The couple in New Orleans actually spends a bag on me. I always did really, really well when I was on Bourbon Street. Whoa, I miss those days. A little. Poquito. But, that was wild. They spent a bag. Last night, these guys they're cheap. They were cheap. I'm not even going to say kinda. I was going to be kind and say kinda cheap, but they weren't kinda cheap. They were pretty cheap. So, and I should have been able to tell. But anyways, I don't even think it was so much him. I think she. This story is finna get wild. I don't even care about all the details I'm talking about right now. Let me get into it. So I go down and sit and talk with them. Like, this your man's? And she's like, yeah. How long they been married? And they got kids and this, that, and the third. And yada, 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 yada. So thank you. I love when they flash and let me know that there's some police. There's some police down here. I love that. I love that. Because y'all don't be having to do that. And I really just love that. I love kind people. I love people who's, like, looking out. Like, they don't know me from Adam's apples to Eve. I don't know what the hell I just said. But that's the type of stuff I love. Like I said, I feel my best when I'm, like, praying for somebody that will never know that I prayed for them. Will never even know. That was so kind of them. Because this man here is just sitting here waiting on his next pick. I promise you he is. Ooh, that was so kind. Thank you, Jesus. Like, stuff like that just makes my day. I just love it. I love little blessings. I love little wins. And remember, I told them that last night. I think a couple people was pissed, but who gives a fuck? That's why you're in the situation you're in now, because you don't have gratitude. You're not grateful. So why would God give you more? You're not grateful with the little that he gives you. Oh, which reminds me, I need to start back paying my tithes. I haven't been to church in months. It's been at least a month since I've been to church. Not long, like, yeah, at least a month. Like, I feel like since I've been coming here, I have not been in church. But I've made this into a church, to be quite honest. I've shared about the ministry that I've done. Whoa. So yeah, couple being cheap. But I'm sitting down talking with them, and she brings up a dance, and I love customers like that, even in spite their cheapness. I love when I don't have to initiate the conversation about a dance, when they're just like, yo, we ready to go. And so that was the case, and she was basically like, is it 50 per person, or we could do like couples like 50? I'm like, oh, I don't know, that's a good question. I already know, ain't no fucking deals, but I'm like, that's a good question. You should go ask him. I don't know if they do any specials. And so we ended up doing one song, but before we did the song, she had to go to the restroom. So when I walked her to the restroom, she asked me before I walked away, she was like, so what all does the dance include? And I was like, well, you know, if you're gonna do the one song, then it's, you know, undressed, and, you know, I'll allow you to touch on me. And she was like, okay, but you won't, like, you know, touch on him, and his dick will stay in his pants, is what she said. And I was like, yes, absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely. He can't have it out, to be quite honest. He'll get put out. I was stunned. And so she was like, yeah, because I had a really bad experience. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta hear about this. So I let her go to the restroom, and then when she came out, he was actually there, and I brought it up. I was like, oh my God, so what happened? And she was like, we don't bring it up around him. But then he went to go pay for the dances, and so we talked about it. And I guess, I don't know what club it was at. They must have been at their little hometown club where they live at in the Midwest. This sound like some nasty, freaky Midwest stuff too. Cause what? I ain't never heard of no stuff like this. Just when I think I've heard it all, I hear something that lets me know I know nothing. So she says they're in there dancing, and the dancer just like whips it out and begins to do things to it. Won't even go into detail, but she's doing things that are making the wife very uncomfortable. And I don't even know why the husband is letting this happen to himself. I'm sure he's shocked, but anyways, I don't know. Like, that's not my burden to get scared. It's not my problem, but that's when it started to get a little weird. But the dance was not weird. She wanted to take her boobs out, so I let her take her boobs out, and it was pretty much a boob show for her. You know, I put my butt on her boobs and bounced it a little bit, and he was just sitting over there watching, and it was cool. And then, yeah, they were just being really cheap, like putting $3 on stage for each dancer. Like, okay, all right. I guess $1 a minute equals $60 an hour, so. But it wasn't really $1 a minute, because our songs be like 3 minutes, so it's like 50 cents a minute, like 30 an hour. Anyways, I digress. So that was that. And then not too many people came after that. I didn't even see this damn car behind me. Thank you, Lord. There was this chick that came in. Basically what happened is one of the dancers was like, hey, if these people, because the dude, both the couple and then the dude who was making it rain, the ones, and I'm sorry I'm excited about it, but it's been a while since I've been in the game, and they don't be spending money. So a little bit was a lot of it for me, because I'm already getting, you know, 100 for 20 minutes. So I'm basically, I almost got $300 for 20 minutes of dancing. Topless at that. It wasn't even fully nude. So that's exciting to me. He was still there, the couple was still there, and one of the dancers put in the group chat, she was like, hey, if they're not spending money, can we just like make them leave somehow? I'm like, I'm with it, because we have to continue to get up on stage as long as they're there. And you know, she made a valid point. She's like, I'm not trying to dance for no few dollars. So I'm with you, girl. So we kind of just like started ignoring the customers until they left. They came and said bye, which the guy, it took him a little longer than the couple to realize. But once they left, this girl came in, big old titties, skinny as fuck. I wouldn't even say big old titties, but a nice set, nice little set on her. You could tell they used to be big. She actually showed us a picture of her titties. It was a titty night, I guess, for the customers. Customers coming and showing their titties. Anyways, she comes in dressed in an all black and heels, and her hair is just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many clip-in extensions she had in. That could not have been all of her hair, and she did not need all of those clip-in extensions. But you know, the extra wannabe basketball wife, you know, whatever. So I think, you know, a bad bitch like yourself, you're gonna come in, and she came in with 2 guys. Like, you know, you're gonna make sure these other bad bitches are taken care of. You know, because a real bad bitch doesn't despise the next bad bitch. A real bad bitch respects the next bad bitch. Okay, it's honorable. But she was very honorable. She was very mean. She was very just ill. But my preconceived notions got the best of me, so I went up, you know, I started talking to her, and she was like, where's the bathroom? So I walked her, I was just walking bitches to the bathroom last night, titty bitches. Anyways, I walked her to the bathroom, and she was like, I used to dance in Vegas or something. I was like, oh, what club? I'm thinking about going out there. And she told me, she was like, I can totally get you in the clubs. She was like, any club. She was like, they actually just opened up a new club. You should go to that one. That's where it's going to be popping at, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, great, let's exchange numbers. So we exchanged numbers, and went back out there. Her man came and sat next to her, and just like, he didn't even look at the dancers, which, you know, that's a little bit admirable and honorable. But like, once they looked at each other, they just like locked in and locked lips. Like, they just started making out, and we was like, oh, okay, like sitting right in front of them. And then the thing was, this girl, because I can't even call her a woman, to be quite honest, she was very stingy with her coins. She was very stingy with her money. She did not want to tip. To the point where there were a few things that had happened, but hold on. Okay, going to grab a bite, and knew I wasn't gonna take the normal way. Let's take this way. And I don't know why I added on like 2 minutes to my drive. Am I driving slow while I'm sitting here talking? I feel like people do that. Like, when they're talking, they don't drive as fast. I've noticed that, and I've been getting irritated with people. Like, get me there! Shut up! But anyway, so yeah, it was a lot of weird things, but I think the weirdest that kind of like, she was messing with my homegirl, my little 19-year-old sneaky hoe. I love her. I know she gonna be telling the truth about everything, because that's just dancers. They don't really, most of them don't. But I love her anyways. So she was like pushing her chair or whatever, trying to get somebody else to come sit by her. It was just weird and rude. And then whenever my homegirl got on the stage, I went over there to talk to Titty Bitch and her man. And I was just like chatting with them for a minute. And then I was like, oh, hey, can I get some of those ones to go throw on her? And she was like, yeah. And she gave me $2. They had at least like maybe 8 in their hand. She gave me $2. And her guy, because she was sitting on his lap, he was like, here, just give her all of it. Give her the rest. And the bitch was like, no, I'll do it. And never did it. Are you cool? Weird vibes. And then, if that wasn't enough to tell me to take my to damn Nevada with my talents, because I am not appreciated here, I had to hear about how the bar back manager wasn't appreciated. I had to listen to him gripe and complain because we didn't tell people to tip him with the dances that we got. Which I can understand a portion of it. Like, I can understand it doesn't take nothing but for us to ask. But sometimes we be so like and to be honest, like a lot of those were hard to get. So I'm not going, it's just not something I'm used to. I'm not even gonna make up excuses for why I didn't do it. I do it sometimes, but this time I was just worried about making my money, honey. I wasn't worried about your money. And so I don't want to fucking have to hear about it at the end of the shift, to be quite honest. But fucking cried and complained and yada, yada, yada. And then told us we can't have our blankets anymore because we forgot to put our blankets up. They were sitting out. And just about all the money that he's taking out of his pocket and putting in. And he needs to pay his bills. So we need to make sure that the customer puts at least a couple dollars. Like, what the fuck is $20? I gotta hear you fucking cry and complain for 20 minutes. The whole time in my head, I'm just like, eat it up, Sierra. Don't get pissed off. You're literally about to leave. Like this is a lesson. Like, there may come a time like this in your new clubs, and you need to know how to just eat it up. So learn right now, so that when the time comes, you don't have to learn it. You just apply what you've already done. You've practiced. I look so rough. I'm almost to my destination. This will be my last drink for real, because I just got things to take care of. And I had stopped drinking for 7 months and got bored. So now I'm just gonna do other things with my bored time. Let's get it.